Joining me, we've got Tornado Alley. Hello, lovely lady. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, I wanted to start this whole interview off because I love this picture, and I think I need to take it full screen because, wow, tell us about how we met.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I remember back when I was in 8th grade, I emailed you just because I had watched your videos and your live streams on News 2 for so long, and I absolutely love what you do and what you're about. And so I was like, "Can you come visit my school, please?" Back in 8th grade of all things. And you came and we got introduced. And so yeah, that's kind of how we met.
I know, and we say Auburn Elementary, but that is no longer anymore because you
Yeah.
said it's not there anymore.
No, Auburn actually closed down a couple years ago. It's really sad. Our funding for our county just
Mhm.
kind of said, you know what, we just don't need an elementary school in Auburn Town anymore for some reason.
Just so you know, she's a Cannon County girl. That's right. Rope, you love it. Whoop, whoop. She's representing. And then you came to visit me a little bit later in life.
Yes, I did come back to job shadow you here at News 2 just because I love meteorology, I love weather, and it was such a great experience. I got to learn so much.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I've known you that long. I can't believe we were both babies. That's what I like to say. Both of us are babies. Both of us were there. So, okay, tell me, Tornado Alley. Now, what happened after you went, graduated from high school? What did you do?
So I went to school for communications here at Trevecca,
Mhm.
right down the street from you guys, of
Yes.
course. And I absolutely had a passion for weather since I was teeny tiny, and just that kind of never stopped. And so I was in school for communications, and I realized that, as someone who loves severe weather, I can do TikTok, right? And
Right,
so
right.
I use those communication skills on TikTok. Crazy.
Whoa. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even think I knew this. This is cool.
Yeah, and so it was insane. And so that was an incredible experience, and I love that I got that. But then afterwards, there was a severe weather event that I couldn't chase because it was too far.
Mhm.
And I did a live stream on TikTok instead to talk about radar and talk about severe weather, what's going on in different areas of the United States. And I had 100,000 people in my live stream telling me that they
Wow.
were absolutely shaking with fear and they were terrified of what's going on. And so I really felt in that moment that the Lord had called me into a ministry of helping people overcome their storm anxiety
Okay.
through giving them clarity on TikTok instead of trying to do all this fear, clickbait, hype crap.
Exactly. So talk about this, your TikTok, because I know in case people want to follow you, I'm gonna show this on the screen, but tell me like what you do on your TikTok. Because in case you want to follow her, here we go. Let me get this in here. There's all your stuff, right? You're on
Yep.
Facebook, you're on TikTok, Tornado Alley Weather, Instagram as well.
Yes.
But what kind of content are you putting out right now?
So I am putting out severe weather education. And so if you are camping, for example, and you don't know what to do in a severe thunderstorm, I have a video about that. I have a video talking about different kinds of severe weather events and what you should do in those cases. That way you have resources ahead of time to prepare, and that way you can have some tools in your back pocket, right? I also talk about storm anxiety and how you can overcome that in practical tools. So just different tips and how to actually overcome that storm anxiety, not just let it rule your life.
Right, which I think is really neat. And you actually have an example of that, I believe.
I
So,
do, yeah.
okay, let me try to play this real quick so people can see this and listen to this real fast. Well, apparently it doesn't want to hear. So this is the actual video. Okay, so this is a TikTok video. So let's talk about this. So what are you doing here?
So I'm honestly just having a face saying, hey, these are ways that you can overcome storm anxiety through practical steps. And I explain that it's so unhelpful for people to just say, oh, just breathe. It'll be okay, because you hear that all the time, right?
Mhm.
And so in that moment, I'm trying to help people understand that there's someone in their corner who's looking out for them as someone who has storm anxiety, and that there are some practical ways that they can overcome that through being prepared ahead of time, right?
Yes, I agree with that. Yep.
Knowing where your weather resources are coming from. So, for example, I always push people to their local stations instead of trying to get their information off of social media, right?
Right. Yes.
And so, like News 2 or just your local channels in your area, I always push them to them because they're going to know the geography of every location so much better than anyone who's doing things nationally could.
Right.
And then I also tell them like just practical things with anxiety as a whole, like a weighted blanket is so helpful. Um, doing a like some more psychological things to kind of tap into your nervous system really helps.
Well, and I was saying this because I mean, just coming in and listening to you, I mean, as you are a digital content creator too, in a way. I mean, but that's actually, you said what you do for a living now too.
Yeah, so
Working.
my main job is I work in digital marketing. And
Hmm.
so we help small businesses share their story online. But I take the tools and strategies that I implement for these small businesses and I implement that into my own content. And so instead of trying to use all of the fear clickbait that you see
Hmm.
a lot of creators on the internet using these days to actually get those views, I use other strategies to where it's not scaring people more than they have to be about severe weather.
Right. And I will say this, you have had quite a positive influence with people, right? Like, I mean, look at these comments you got.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many people just commenting on videos saying, I am terrified and don't know what to do, but this video really helped. Or just during a live stream, there was someone who was in a mobile home and they didn't know what to do.
Hmm.
And we got to talk about different resources that are available, like go to your local fire department, go to churches, find places on Facebook that said, hey, my house is open up during severe weather events. If there's a really bad storm coming through, you can come on this way.
Well, I just think what you're doing is so great. And I mean, and I really appreciate that while you may be a more of storm enthusiast, not the technical meteorologist that, you know, we all went to school for, whatever,
Right.
but you are trying to do the good into the internet, you know,
Right.
which I appreciate that. And I almost appreciate you more. And I'm sure a lot of meteorologists in the country appreciate you more saying, hey, you know what? Like, while I can do this nationally, like go to this person, go to these people, you know, because I feel like I've noticed it that your generation, because you are younger than me, as you can see through the pictures, but for real, like you guys are on the social media apps first before you're ever going to get on like a live
Oh, yeah.
stream or anything like that. So I think you're tapping into the audience of the future and doing
Yes.
something right with it.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do because if I'm honest, people my age, they really have distrust with some of those really big news
Hmm.
organizations.
Hmm.
But I always push them to local because your local meteorologist isn't going to steer you wrong.
Right.
So I always want to push them towards local just that way they have someone who understands the geography of their location specifically so much better.
Well, we love what you're doing. I am, and I'm like, wait, how old are you now?
I'm 21.
Oh my gosh. I do know that because I'm getting old, but I am so happy that you're getting to do all this stuff, and you're still like, even though you have your day job trickles into like your fun job,
Yeah.
and it like all works out well together.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I don't make a single penny off of what I do on TikTok. Anything that I make, monetization or gifts from live streams, goes into funding the channel. And if I get a surplus, that goes right into disaster relief for any areas that we were covering. So,
Well, I appreciate that, and again, I want to make sure people know this how they follow you, right? Make sure you're following Tornado Alley. She's on TikTok. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. You're live streaming right now.
I am live streaming right now. So, if you're on TikTok watching this, hi.
Hi, Tornado Alley friends, and come find me too. I'm Danielle Breezy. I don't know what I'm doing, although I did tell Allie we're gonna have a sesh where she just sits with me and teaches me how to do it better because
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing my best, you know. And but you've already given me some tips just being in the room with you, so I appreciate you coming on to say hello, and I appreciate all
Absolutely.
you're doing. Thank you for helping the people in Middle Tennessee and across the country. Really,
Thank you for having me here. I
ah,
appreciate you.
I love seeing young weather people grow. It's so awesome. Well, with that, unfortunately, it's 5:54, which means it is time to wrap up our show. Thank you again, Tornado Alley. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody, y'all have a great rest of your night, and we will see you later. We'll see you at Weather Authority Live tomorrow. And stay tuned for the weather coming tomorrow night.